Good day, viewers and listeners. Welcome to our Salida TeleRadyo. Today, we will bring another episode of fun and exciting learning here in School on Air. I am your radio host, Jevin Dumagat from La Filipina National High School. This time, we will explore another topic in TLE 7. Help me welcome our teacher broadcaster for today's episode, Mrs. Judith S. Campos.
Thank you, Sir Jeven. Good morning once again, listeners and viewers of our Salida TeleRadyo. For second time around, your teacher Judith is here and will teach you in dressmaking and tailoring, an exploratory course in TLE 7. Today, we will discuss identifying sewing tools. This time, get your ballpen and notebook for note-taking. Are you ready? For today's objectives, distinguish the meaning of sewing and sewing tools. Classify sewing tools according to its use and appreciate the importance of sewing. Have you experienced going to school with a torn dress? Kana bang wala ka kabantay nga gisi dayang ilok or ang imuhang slacks ni kalitlag kagisi so wa ka nakabantay? What did you do to fix it? Okay, so our lesson for today is connected ana atong hisgutan. But before that, let's have a pre-test. Okay, for our pre-test, let's play 4 picks, 2 words. So this is a guessing game. I will show a group of pictures and I will describe each picture. Write your answer in your TLE notebook. I will give you 5 seconds to answer, then later we're going to check the answer. Okay, are you ready? Number 1. Handyman, sewing machine, tools, dressmaker. What specific words fit with the theme of the pictures? Your time starts now. Okay, number 2. Sewing gauge, French curve, L-square, and ruler. What specific words fit with the theme of the pictures? Third, rotary cutter, thread clipper, pinking shear, dressmaker shear. What specific words fit with the theme of the pictures? Okay, so later we're going to reveal the answer. Okay, did you know that when sewing started? Okay, hand sewing is an art form that is over 20,000 years old. So, dugay na siya kaayo, no? The first sewing needles were made of bones or animal horns. And the first thread was made of animal sinew. So, ang animal sinew is a fibrous or tough fibrous tissue on an animal. So, muna ilang gigamit. Then, iron needles were invented in 14th century. And the first eyed needles appeared in 15th century. Now you know. So, this time, we're going to proceed with our main topic. Did you know the meaning of sewing? Okay. What is sewing? Sewing is the craft of fastening or attaching objects using stitches made with a needle and thread. Always present si needle and thread in sewing. And sewing tools are instruments that aid in accomplishing a sewing task. These are those which don't require the use of electricity. Always remember ang word na tools is used manually or you are going to use it by your hands. Okay, we also have 4 classifications of sewing tools. First, measuring tools, cutting tools, marking tools, pinning and sewing tools. Measuring tools. So we have 6 measuring tools. But what is measuring tools? Okay, the function of measuring tools is anything used to take account of quantitative data, especially the length or katason. Okay, the 6 measuring tools are tape measure, sewing gauge, ruler, yardstick, L-square, and French square. Okay, number 1, tape measure. Tape measure is a flexible measuring device used in taking body measurements. This tape is made of fiberglass and commonly used by dressmakers. Sa hay pag makita natin mga dressmaker, ilan ni ginakwintas. So, muna sa tape measure, no? And ikaduha, of course, ang sewing gauge. Sewing gauge is a small ruler with a sliding guide and is about 6 inches long. This gauge is used for measurements at hemlines. When we say hemlines, kanabitang the edge sa kanang garment or lower edge sa garment or kanabitang sid-sid sa pinakababa. Or any coats or measured from the floor. So, muna siya itong gamiton, sewing gauge. Then, you can also use in measuring the buttonholes and the areas where other small measurements, such as pleats and the tacks. Diba kasagaran school uniform na labi na sa girls, na siya naka-fold no, na-surround sa imuhang skirt. So, ang tawag na to ana is pleats and tacks. Number 3, ruler. Okay, ruler measuring 12 inches or even 18 inches. It is useful tool to have measuring and drawing straight seam or kana. Mga putag seam sa atong sinina, kana siyang sinumpayan or parte na siya sa sinina in which gitaw siya aron masira. So, na siya no rin. Fourth, the yardstick. Yardstick is made of smooth, shellacked hardwood or metal. It is used for marking hemlines and checking grain lines when laying out the pattern. Kaya kasagaran dressmaker, especially sa mga baguhan, nagagamit yun og pattern. So, when we say gamit ang pattern, we need also proper measurement. So, usay po si yardstick, makita lang, especially magpalit ka og mga tela, minitro. So, atong ginagamit anak nila is yardstick to measure, of course. The next is the L-square. L-square is known also as Taylor square, used to transfer measurement to the draft pattern. It is perfect square and is useful in making straight lines and numbers. It can also function as the tape measure. Gawas lang yun kung mag-measure sa circumference sa lawas. Hindi siya pwede, kadi man siya nato ma-fold. Lastly, last measuring tools is the French square. This is used to shape the depth of the neck hole and armhole of the pattern. Ang forma sa French square is pakurba. So, para ma-shape og tarong ang atong neck hole or sa liog or sa armhole, so we're going to use French square. Okay, next classification is the cutting tools. Cutting tools are instruments that used to cut fabrics and threads. So this will serve if properly maintained. And always remember, if you're going to use cutting tools, dapat sharp siya. Dili siya dull, kanang dili habol kay makadamage siya sa fabrics. So we have 6 cutting tools here. The bent-handed dressmaker shear, pinking shear, cutting tools, thread clippers, seam ripper, and rotary cutter and mat. Okay, bent-handed dressmakers shears are made of quality steel and hold a sharp cutting edge. So this is good, or the blade is move easily and cut smoothly along the entire length, and the point should come together. If inyong mga gunting is nana siya giwang bitaw or kanang nana siya gimtang sa tunga, di na siya maayo gamiton kay di na siya makakat og tarong. So dapat it comes together. Then there are satisfactory for most apparel fabrics. Next is also the pinking shears. Pinking shears is compare sa bent-handed dressmaker shear, kato siya smooth ang iyahang blade. Kani si pinking shears is zigzag ang iyahang blades because we use this to cut scallop edge or for seam finishes. So again, ang seam gali is katong sinumpayan na or part nga gitahi para masira ang tela. So this is used to finish the seams and raw edges and to create decorative edges on many types of fabric. Number 3, cutting tools. Tulad ni siya, daghan magitag mga cutting tools or mga cutting scissors, no? Una, si trimming scissors. Of course, from the word trimming. This is used for trimming, clipping threads, or snipping slashes for our fabrics. Then, ang iyahang sukod is 3 to 4 inches long lang ni siya. While sa embroidery scissors, of course, ginagamit nato siya pang borda or for delicate fabrics and in embroidery work. And lastly is the buttonholes scissors. Number 4, thread clippers. Thread clippers are handy little spring-loaded cutting tool that allows for snipping the thread. So, kani siya is always ni nakanganga ang iyahang blade. What you are going to do is, isa lang siya ka-press, then makat na nimo ang hilo. Then, sa tanan ng mga cutting scissors or mga cutting tools, kanilang siya atong dili gamiton for cutting fabric. Tungod kay gamay lang siya. Only for threads or mga hilo ato ang ikat. Number 5, cutting tools is the seam ripper. Seam rippers are specifically designed for ripping out stitches, especially itong result sa pagkamali or truhunon siya. So, since tanggalunon ang thread, kung ato lang siya kamuton, maglisod ta or guntingon, maglisod po no. So, by using the seam rippers, mas dali siya ibton ang thread sa tela. Then, para mas dali ang trabaho, again, we are going to use seam ripper. But always remember to use seam ripper carefully, kay pwede po siya makadamage sa fabric or pwede po ka matusok kung di ka magbantay, kay pointed ang seam ripper. Last cutting tools is the rotary cutter and mat. This is just an adaptation of a giant rotary cutter used by garment industry. It works like a pizza cutter and can be used by left or right-handed sewers. When cutting a rotary cutter, always work with or on the cutting mat to protect the blade and of course the cutting surface. Okay, next specification is the marking tools. Marking tools are required for transferring pattern markings to garment fabric pieces and for making alterations on garments. Kung like for example, kinahanglan ikat, so ato sa siyang i-mark no using the marking tools of course para dili ta masayop. Lisod na kung masayop kay mawalas maputol na si fabric, di na jud nato madali-dali og uli ang iyang original nga porma. Okay, marking tools are the chalk pencils, liquid marking pen, tailor's chalk, wax chalk, tracing wheel, and the dressmaker's carbon paper. Okay, chalk pencils or dressmaker pencils is look-alike sa kanabitong mga coloring pencils sa mga bata or kinatong ginagamit. But we're not going to use sharpener. Nala na siya gamay nga sinulid nga ato siyang birahon and then muna to siya pag mabira na to siya muna na tag nag-sharpen sa iyaha. Mogawas na ang iyahang pencil or iyahang katong pangsulat. So mo siya si chalk pencils. Say ato na matingalan tano. There was once my co-teacher said, ay, nato dahil siya pag hindi din magamit og sharpener. Kaya ang purpose na itong sinulit, again, mo ito para pang sharpen niya. So, this chalk pencil is used to make fine lines on fabrics. Then, it has a erasing brush at one end. Next is the liquid marking pen. There are two types of liquid marking pens. Number 1 is mawash out lang siya. Second is after 48 hours, ma-fade lang po siya. So, those that wash out should not be used on fabric that show watermarks, especially itong mga silky or satin ng mga tela. Kaya magbulakra na siya, magmarka. Then, the one that fades 48 hours, of course, before you're going to remove, ma-remove siya, pero dapat dili siya moagi og init. Kaya mo marka na mapag-ayo, dili na siya ma-erase sa tela. So, kung wala pa siya na-apply init, mas maito siya erison dayon ninyo. Okay? Okay, next. Tailor's chalk. This is essential as marker for use on materials. Okay, pinaka-common ni siya nga marking tools nga ginagamit sa mga dressmakers. You can remove this by brushing. And kanipod siya ang pinaka-common tungod kay mas affordable siya sa tanan nga marking tools. Number 4, wax chalk. It is available in black or white color and is used for woolen fabrics. Wax can be removed by pressing. Next is the tracing wheel. So there are two types of tracing wheels, those with serrated edge and those with a smooth edge. Serrated edge wheel produces dots on the fabrics and is suitable for most types of fabrics. The second is the smooth edge, best for delicate fabrics, and unlike serrated edge, of course, it will not burst on the fabric. So, solid line ang iyahang gina-create. Last marking tools is the dressmaker's carbon paper. Same sa mga carbon paper na ginagamit nato sa school or sa offices, no? Same na po yung function. So, pag magbuhat ang pattern, magamit ta og carbon paper. Then, always remember, if you are going to use carbon paper, dapat similar ang color or kanang doon lang ang color sa imong fabrics og sa carbon paper. Like, for example, white ang imuhang fabric. So, of course, ayaw paggamit og black kay klaro kaayo. You can use light blue or katong mga lighter nga mga color. Okay. Next specification of sewing tools is the pinning and sewing tools. We have 4 pinning and sewing tools. Number 1 is the pin cushion. Second is the hand needle. Third, sewing and needle threader. And lastly is the thimble. Si pin cushion, so muna siya kasagaran, ang forma niya, tomato or apple, so muna siya kasagaran, no? Gamay lang na siya, pwede na nimo makumot sa imong kamot. Purpose for this is, of course, to hold the straight pins and needles while working to prevent accidents. Then, of course, may iwasan po nato nga mga bali ang inyong mga needles. Then, isa po sa purpose ani niya is para dili-dali mawala ang mga needles since gagmay kaayo siya. So, kung imo siya itusok diri mas dali nimo siya makita. Number 2 is the hand needle, used in making temporary stitches and buttonholes. Sizes of 7 to 10 are for general hand sewing. So, sa mga buttonholes, karabitong banga or suksukanan sa kanang buttons, of course, ang ginagamit ana is the hand needles. Ito naman na siyang tahiuan manually. Then, number 3, sewing and needle threader. Diba, as you can see, nakapakita naman mo og kanang hilo, no? Gagmay kaayo, gagmay pod ang mata sa inyong dagom. So, katong labi na gitong mga kulog na bitaw kamot or hanap nagmata, maglisod na og sulod sa thread dito sa mata sa dagom. So, this one, si threader, it will aid you in putting the thread to the needle. So, duha niyang parts. So, number 1 part is the body and second is the wire. So, if magsulod mo, of course, you're going to hold the body or katong handle niya, dinisulod ang wire dito sa mata sa dagom. And then, after mo gawas ang wire, isulod mo dito ang hilo. Okay, so pag nasulod ng hilo, birahon na lang nimo ang wire, then, charang, magic. No, sulod na ang hilo sa mata sa gamay kaayo nga dagom. So, mana siya ha, tips na siya, labi na gitong makurog og kamot, di mahilig magtahi. So, always dapat present si needle threader. And lastly is the thimble or didal sa Bisaya pa ni or no, sa Bisaya. This one is just a small hard-heated cup worn for the protection of your fingers. Especially itong ginagamit na mo push sa dagom. Kay kabantay mo, labi na yun mga hard nga mga fabrics, tistingig push sa dagom, diba? Napay chance nga matusok imong kamot. So, with the aid of thimble, of course, mas mapadali ang tuklod or pag-push sa needle dito sa fabric. Okay? We have sewing tools o tayo sewing materials. We only have 2 sewing materials. One that is katong fabric, ang isa is the thread. The fabric is a cloth used in making garments. The plain cotton fabrics, flour sack, or katong mga gitawag na itong katsa is the most appropriate for materials for beginners. Kaya mas dali lang man siya i-control o mas dali man siya i-manage. Mas dali siya i-handle. Ang thread pod, ang hilo, is used in assembling or constructing the parts of the garments. Even if napag na kay mga tela, di po na siya mahimo nga garments kung wala si thread. And always remember, if you're going to use thread, make sure that the color is same sa fabric. So like for example, magtahi na pug kag puti nga tela or blouse, ayun na magamit kag itom. So maklaro kay na siya pag labi na jud pag mabira na bitaw na sinumpayan, maklaro ang itom nga hilo. So dapat kung puti ang imuhang fabric, you use also white thread. Daghan ni siyang klase-klase nga color. So unsay mga color sa tela mo po na, daghan po nagklase-klase nga color ang atoang mga threads. Okay? So now, I have a question for you. What are the importance of learning sewing and sewing tools? Ano ito po maning tunan? No? So the answer is, learning the right tools minimize mistakes and help you move through each sewing task more efficiently. Next, learning to sew can save money. So, kung kabalo ka magtahi, kung na mga repairunin sa mga sinina, pwede na ikaw ang mag-repair. So, di na ka mabayad sa mananahi. Then, learning to sew can help you in earning money. Always remember, labi na gid karon mahal na ang set sa pagpatahi sa mga uniform. Pila na, butang na ito, pinakabarato, 800. So, kung kabalo ka mo tahi, why not? Ikaw na lang ang mo tahi. Pwede pa nimo siya pangwartahan. Then next, sewing your own clothes is a way to dress yourself in exactly the kind of style you want. And of course, you can fit properly. Kana bitaw magkasinina ka nga tama sa imuha ang fit. Usahay baya no, pag magpatay ka, mabalik pa kay tungod kay luag or guot. So mana siya. Then lastly, sewing is an important life skill. Di ba kung question ka ganina, nakatry na ba mo og suot or adto sa school na naadigi si inyong sanina? So, muna na siya, life skill ang sewing. So, ikaw na amutahi, di na ka maulawan. Same sa nahitabo sa kuha. So, during nagklase, pag din ko na nabistak or nagisi ang ako, natastas ang ako ang slack. So, ulaw ka ay makita sa mga bata. Sumugan ba yung mga bata, no? So, akong gibuhat, since always dyan na nasa akong hunos na agad kay thread. And of course, ako ang needle kay kung in ana nga mga instances, ma-save ko from ulaw. Kay ulaw man na siya, nagisi ang sanina ni ma'am. So, kato siya akong gibuhat. Nagsugol ako mga bata, nga bantayan ko para dili ko maduulan kay ako sang gihubo kadali akong slacks ug akong gitahi. So, life skill siya. Okay? Now that you already know about the different sewing tools and of course, the importance, okay, now, we are going to reveal the answer sa pre-test kaganina. Okay? So, number 1, handyman, sewing machine, tools, dressmaker. So, sa man siya? What words are specific words fit with the theme of the pictures? Of course, sewing tools. Number 2, sewing gauge, French curve, square and ruler. Sa man ni? Of course, measuring tools. Kanita na is ginagamit for measuring. Number 3, rotary cutter, thread clipper, pinking shear, and dressmaker shear is used in, yes, for cutting tools. Now, I know daghan mo na nakatunan. I know ready na mo for evaluation. Okay. Write your answer in a clean sheet of paper. I will give you 5 seconds to answer each question. Answer it honestly. Okay? Number 1. Which of the following does not belong to the group? A. Rotary cutter and mat. B. Seam ripper. C. Tracing wheel. Or D. Thread clipper. Okay, the correct answer is C. Tracing wheel. Number 2. What tool that was required in transferring pattern markings to garment fabric pieces and for making alterations on garments? A. Wax chalk. B. Tailor's chalk. C. Tracing wheel. Or D. Marking tools. Okay, the correct answer is letter D. marking tools. So, katutanan is, of course, ginagamit siya for marking tools. Number 3, the following cutting tools can be used to cut fabric, except A. Cutting scissors, B. Bent-handled dressmaker shears, C. Thread clippers, or D. Pinking shears. The correct answer is thread clippers. So, si thread clippers lang ang na ito pwede gamiton for cutting fabrics. Number 4, what fabric material appropriate for beginners? A. Any fabric as long as it is usable. B. Satin because it is very shiny and soft. C. Flour sack because it is easy to handle. Or D. All of the above. The correct answer is letter D, flour sack, because it is easy to handle. Last number. Why you need to use a mat when working using a rotary cutter? A. To protect the fabric from dirt. B. To protect the blade and the cutting surface. C. For easy working on fabrics. Or D. All of the above. Okay, the correct answer is letter B. Okay, congratulations everyone. We're done. Now, before I'm going to leave you, this is assignment or for your assignment. Find a torn shirt or katong ining mga gisig-gisig nga salina. Then sew it using your hands or sewing machine. Do not forget to take picture before mo magtahi, while nagtahi, and after sewing resulta sa inyong pagtahi, then post it on social media. Okay? That's all for today. Before I'm going to leave you, here's a wonderful saying from Donna Goddard. Beautiful things come together with one stitch at a time. Thank you and God bless everyone.
That's great! Thank you, Ma'am Judith. Ug sa atong mga suki ingatig paminaw ug mga viewers, daghang salamat sa makanunayong pagsuporta. See you next episode only here in Salida TeleRadyo. Goodbye!